everyone, Dirk Beckmann, Equilibrium State. I'm right now here in beautiful Berlin on my tour, giving a speech on healthy body and functional movement for Joe Nimble. And I just received some questions from viewers of my natural walking video. And I would like to answer some of those questions in this beautiful hotel queue in Berlin. Okay, the first question, which I actually have already answered several times in German videos but not in English videos yet, is the question: do you really need zero drop shoes in order to learn a front strike or forefoot step pattern or midfoot step pattern? And actually you do. For example, this shoe right here is the manufacturer is called Joe Nimble. It's a zero drop shoe and it's very light, and it's leather, but they also have it in a vegan version. So you need to have a shoe that's zero level, because if your heel is up like this, then you will have an extended heel. So you will always, if you do the forefoot step pattern with a very slightly supinated foot, then the difference between your forefoot and your heel is not that much. But if the heel is artificially elongated because of, like, let's say an air system or something else, then you will also already like touch the ground with the heel even though it's lifted up. So it needs to be very flat and zero drop in order to learn it, especially because if you have something like an air system or gel pads or whatever on your heel, then it's still quite comfortable to touch the ground with the heel first. So the feedback from your foot to your nervous system to your brain will always be, okay, heel is okay, there's no pain, it's okay. So it will be much harder to change the pattern, because for your nervous system there's no need to change. But if you walk barefoot or with a zero drop shoe that doesn't have any like cushion or air system, you will actually like feel touching the ground with the heel, like not like a pain, but it's not comfortable. So your brain will tend to switch the pattern and try something else. And if you land on your forefoot, then it's much more comfortable. Having a zero drop shoe with a very thin sole actually helps you to learn the forefoot step pattern. It's just like walking barefoot. You will actually also need some toe freedom, so the shoe has to be wide over there, because if you don't have a wide toe box and you have like a toe like taper thing over here, then when you touch the ground with your forefoot first, then your toes naturally tend to widen a little bit, they spread out a bit. If your shoe doesn't play along, then this tends to be uncomfortable. So again, your brain will switch to the different pattern and try heel walking first. So you need to have some toe freedom in your shoes. So actually those like natural shoes with zero drop, toe freedom and very light, that's the perfect option to learn a forefoot step or forefoot strike pattern or midfoot strike pattern. Okay, next question. Are there any exercises to prepare for this new pattern? And this is a very smart question, because actually you do need to prepare, because your fascia and your muscles are not used to this new pattern. So if you change it too quickly, this might lead to some problems with your plantar fascia on your lower foot part over here, or with your Achilles tendon, or even with the structures in your lower leg. So you need to prepare very slowly. Actually, you can do this by starting to wear minimal shoes, perhaps even at home. If you used to like wear regular shoes at home, then you should go barefoot at home or with those minimal shoes, because usually at home you don't walk that much. So you start little by little. Or you start wearing those shoes when you have to take like smaller walks. If you go to a grocery store right around the corner, then you use these shoes. And for the first time, still use your old shoes for longer periods that you have to walk. But actually there are some things you can do with your foot in order to like not increase the muscle strength, but get the tissue used to be used in a different way. Okay, the first exercise is actually very simple. What you're trying to do is to activate the muscles in your feet and your lower legs that you will use while you're walking in the forefootstep pattern. The easiest thing to do is walking in one place. It's like you lift your legs and you start walking like this, because automatically you will use your forefoot. There's no way that you're really doing this, like you're not rolling when you're standing. You would use a forefootstep pattern. So if you do this very relaxed, watching TV or something, then you will automatically increase not only the muscle strength but also the flexibility of your fascia in your foot. While you're doing this, you can add some contralateral movement like this in order to get your back fascia, your lumbar fascia, and the muscles in your back used to like pendling your pelvis against your shoulder girdle. Okay, that's very simple, very simple exercise, and just do it while watching TV or whatever, while standing, and your fascia in your foot and your lower leg will get used to this pattern very softly, very slowly, so that you prevent like overuse when you're running or something like this. Okay, if you do have some problems with the arches in your foot, then there are several tiny exercises you can do. You can skip to those toga things, but toga, like yoga for your foot, there are actually some things that are too much. If you have a lot of free time, then you can do it, but it's not necessary to play piano with your feet. But there's one exercise that actually activates your flexor hallucis longus and your abductor hallucis, and those two muscles are the ones that pull your big toe into the right position, and they also work this arch of your foot, like they put it up. And so it's important that that your big toe has the right position, otherwise your foot arch will collapse. And a good exercise for this looks like this. You will stand up, because it's much easier standing up, and I hope you can see my feet. First thing is you will push your big toes into the ground, and then you will lift the other toes. You can spread them or just lift them. You don't have to lift them too high. Just lift them a little bit and push the big toe into the ground. Next thing is you will push the other toes into the ground and lift your big toe. And you will switch from A to B for a certain time. By doing this, you will heighten your arch over here, so the muscles that are used as a tensegrity model or as a shock absorber while walking in a midfoot or forefoot step pattern will be strong enough to have you walking in this pattern. So that's a very good exercise. Another thing that you can do is a very fine exercise that my student Sebastian Novak put on the internet. It's quite similar to the one I showed you before, and the purpose of this exercise is to get your foot and your knee aligned again. Because your knee, the middle part of your knee, should be aligned with the middle part of your foot. You can see my toe is not very straight, but it should be over there. So it's actually the line of your second toe, not your big toe, but your second toe. What you can do is this. You use one foot and you lift up those toes again. So this toe pushes into the ground, and then you move forward with your knee and let your toes drop very slowly and move forward in direction of the second toe. Come back again, lift your toes and drop them again with the knee. When you do this for a certain period, then your foot and your knee will be aligned much better, and your toe will move outwards, giving you more stability. So this is a very cool thing to do. Okay, so far I showed you some exercises for your foot, and actually if you know me, then you know that like forefoot step walking for me is not just a matter of your feet. It's actually a matter of the whole body, and there are certain things you can do, and you can check out the link below. There's a program called the 5 Wise Men, which is a series of exercises that are very, very good to get your body mobile, but with a very little amount of effort. So there are not too many exercises or too difficult ones or too stressful ones, but they're very, very effective. And one of those exercises, and I will get into this one in detail in this program, is what I call the sit walking. Regular sit walking will look like this. You're sitting and try to be nice and upright, and then you shift your weight to one side and lift your pelvis up using your quadratus lumborum and your psoas, and then you make a step forward. This is the regular walking pattern. And actually you would do this much slower than I do it right now. The regular tempo should be like this, like just lifting slowly, and then moving forward. Slowly, and moving forward, perhaps even slower. Doing this will increase the mobility of your pelvis. So when you're walking, especially if you're walking in a forefoot step pattern, you will need your pelvis to be mobile. If your pelvis is stiff and you're just walking with your legs, then I think you will have some difficulties with the forefoot step pattern. So your pelvis should be mobile, and this is a brilliant exercise to do this. Even if you have some like lower back pain, this is a great exercise to do. Another thing you will need doing a forefoot step pattern is the contralateral movement that we talked about before. And you can also increase your contralateral movement in this exercise if you do a sit walking pattern with a contralateral movement. This means, for example, you use your right leg to go forward and then shift your shoulder girdle, the left one, to the front. It looks like this. You are lifting this one and then you make a step, make a step. Make sure that if you step forward, like if the shoulder girdle is rotated to the side, that you don't rotate back when you put your leg to the front. This is usually a sign of poor contralateral movement. The rotation should still be there when the pelvis goes down to the floor. You see my shoulder girdle is like this, and the pelvis on this side is more to the front than this one. So this is a brilliant exercise to increase your contralateral movement while walking, and this is very useful for forefoot step pattern. So I hope this video helped you a bit, and yeah, if you have some questions, then just post them below, and whenever I have the time to answer some questions, I will put up a video for you. So if you like the video, give me a thumb up, and perhaps share this video with your friends or in forums or whatever, and subscribe to the channel because there are some more English videos around. Just check the playlist, international content, and yeah, have fun with it, and hope just to see you soon in another video. So take care, Dirk Beckmann signing out.